wonderful good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are watching. We are right now in a top secret Sheepman underground garage. Most of the dailies are parked here, including the RS4 B9, which is basically my winter daily. I also have an incredibly dirty M5 and the F10 over here. Well, a few weeks ago you saw us build this beautiful RS4 B9. Yeah, and today we're gonna go into the snow and we're gonna test it out a little bit.
Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know, I had my fair share of RS4s over the last couple of years, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how the RS4 B9, the newest one, compares to all the other ones. But let me tell you one thing, guys. I really wasn't prepared for what was gonna happen today. But anyway, let's start from the beginning.
By the way, just really quick again, look how beautiful this car is actually sitting. You're actually wondering right now why the silver stuff is not on the car anymore that we showed you in the build. This is because we are time travelers right now, so there's that. But I do love how the car is sitting on these OZ wheels, and yeah. A little cold start for you guys. 2.9 liter 6-cylinder turbo. So let's go and see what this beautiful car can do in the snow. Really quick, before we enjoy the snow, I gotta go to the workshop and see if Gabriel's still alive, see what he's been doing. Lipsner, LF. Fast. Ikke driften, ciao. Alright, anyway, we are on the way deep into the mountains. We're hopefully we're gonna find enough snow, but if I look at this already, it's looking pretty much like winter wonderland. I think the yellow RS4 is gonna look so cool, just sliding through the snow and everything. We haven't really talked about the interior of the car yet because I never really got to drive it with you guys. So really quick, because I think honestly these seats and overall just the yellow stitching on everything, the car looks so good on the inside. I think the only thing I would change is I would put an Alcantara steering wheel on it, because we all know how this looks after like a few years of using it. It will just look so absolutely terrible. But apart from that, I think it's just a very, very beautiful car on the inside. You have Alcantara here, it's Audi exclusive on the door panels, and this is the softest material I have ever felt in any car. It's like a teddy bear, the doors. It's so sick. The only thing that kind of looks really cheap, I think, is up here.
Yeah.
Here, this plastic stuff. Yeah. And they have no Alcantara here in the headlight, but whatever. Overall, I really have to say, I did not think I would like this car as much as I do. Because a few years ago, when they actually revealed this car, the RS4 B9, Mani was still working at Audi, and I had an appointment with Audi to test drive one of the RS4 B9s, because I really wanted to buy one back when they first came out, because I thought it looked cool. But when I tested it, Mani was with me, we drove it around a little bit, it was absolutely disappointing. I was so sad about the car, because it was just so lifeless and emotionless. This is honestly way better now, because we installed the exhaust and the intake and everything, and I think the yellow really matches the car. I think yellow is probably the only color where this car looks really cool. All the other colors, it just looks like a basic Audi, but the yellow is truly what makes this car stand out. It is our mission today to figure out how good the yellow actually looks in the snow and how this car actually drives in the snow, because if you remember last year I had the RS4 B5, that was quite good to drive, not my favorite in the winter time, but let's see how the years have changed and how this car behaves compared to all the previous RS4s we had on this channel. Let's go. Alright my friends, so we are in dynamic mode, which gives us the fully locking rear differential, and that also means that we are ready to drive. I think we have snow on the streets, exactly like we wanted to. So in theory, everything should be ready for us.
Oha, oha. Das geht super.
Okay, this car is so far incredibly fast on the streets, because the all-wheel drive just pulls it so forward. But like with every Audi, you do have quite some understeers when you're going into the corners. You can balance this out by braking into the corners a little bit and just by playing around with the weight of the car. Ich bin ja schon Audi-Experte, ich finde das ja schon super gut.
Yeah.
So that's why we do this here before the corner. Anpendeln, einlenken und Gas geben und umziehen lassen.
Oha.
All-wheel drive drifting in the snow is just honestly one of my favorite things to do, because it's just so...
Wow, der kommt hinten voll schnell. Krass.
But But if we compare this all-wheel drive to the M5, which we tested a few weeks ago, the M5 was way more tail happy and didn't understeer as much as the RS4. But the RS4 seems to be a bit more stable in the all-wheel drive, meaning that the all-wheel drive is more consistent. If we compare it to the B5 from last year, I do have to say that the B5, we welded the differential on the B5, so the B5 was also a bit more tail happy than the B9, which is this one right here. The B5 also had spikes on, which made a huge difference, because with the spikes you have just so much grip, just makes it so much easier. And with the I thought maybe you can drift with the electronic handbrake, but it turns out it just turns on the ESC and doesn't let you do anything. So
wow.
we pull this.
Boah, das fühlt sich so krass an.
That's the cool thing about all-wheel drive. You can just do like these reverse entries into the corners easily. It's just really playful, this car. And the cool thing about the RS4 compared to the RS6, which we tested last year, is the size of the RS4 is just so much nicer for drifting compared to the RS6. Because with the RS6, if you turn it sideways here in these streets, you're like filling out the whole street in an instant. And the RS4 is just a bit more nimble than the RS6. But so far I think it works really, really well.
Ja, voll wie Butter.
Yeah, it just gives you so much confidence, this car, which is amazing. I'm a big fan of it so far. I don't know why, but sometimes it randomly upshifts, and that is a bit annoying, I have to say. Right here, for example, it shifted from first to second without me wanting to shift. But apart from that...
Ui.
It really, really likes it, and I like it too.
Das wird sehr cool.
Is the Audi approved?
Ja, definitiv.
I think as a winter car we definitely can approve this car.
Yeah.
It did a pretty good job. Didn't even overheat. The sport differential in the back apparently is still cold, which is very interesting because I can imagine that it did quite do some work up here. But I think this car truly is a winter weapon. That's typical Quattro Audi things. Me as a BMW guy, I still have to admit these RS4s are crazy in the snow. And RS6 as well. All right, look at this, guys. Starting to snow. I love the winter time. I think I say it in every snow video we're doing, but so peaceful. Kind of looks like an RS3 if you look at it like this. But I'm actually really, really happy how everything works out with the RS4 here. I initially had a little bit of skepticism that this car is going to understeer a lot because the RS4 B5 did it a lot before we did the changes to the rear differential, but so far it seems to like it quite well, and honestly I'm really happy just driving it here. It's really hard for me to admit, me being a BMW guy, but these Audis, these Quattros in the wintertime are just so much fun to drive, especially the newer ones with the locking rear differential and everything, because like I already said in the video, and you can see it, I do in every corner, I do exactly the same thing. Wow. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, every corner I can do exactly exactly the same thing, because this car's Alter, Spinni, warte. Um was geht's da jetzt, Alter? Vielleicht ist wirklich der RS4 so raus. Long story short, what I'm trying to say, this car is really, really easy to drift here in the snow, and it makes it just very playful to drive it, and I'm a big fan of that. It could be a little bit shorter, so you can throw it even more into the corners, but whatever, I'm not complaining. I still have the Evo for that. So, you know, the summertime is really, really cool because it's so warm, but wintertime is where I truly just find my joy. Leck mich. Oha. Alter, das ist satisfying. yeah, you can't do this in summertime. Another point why wintertime is cooler than summertime. All right, let's get more drifting, guys. All right, guys, a little bit more POV so you guys can see what I'm actually doing with my hands, so you know what's going on. Pretty easy. And the car reacts really nicely to steering inputs as well. If you look at this, it starts to brake loose in the rear if I only steer and brake a little bit. And I can use this basically to initiate the slides in front of corners like these, which is honestly very cool. I didn't think Audi would be able to do this. So 90% of the driving is just playing around basically, finding the flow and staying in that groove. It's like dancing. This is peak Quattro engineering, honestly. If they're talking about Quattro, this is what they are saying, and not like those RS3s, whatever, the fake Quattro. Look at this, that was crazy. And I just pull it through with the gas, a little bit of counter steer. All right, I have to say, pretty convinced of the RS4 so far. Wonderful car, handles really well, and it looks so cool, I think. Today is just one of those days, you know? One of those very beautiful days, which is everything is perfect so far. Right when I said that, I just...
Der mal wieder ausschaust.
I slipped and fell so. Oh, das tut voll weh. Dafür musst du jetzt RS4 driften.
Ja.
Schauen wir mal, ja? Mehr Gas. Mehr Gas.
Ey, das geht easy.
Easy?
Ja.
Ab sofort filmst du die Videos, oder was? Unglaublich. Yes. All right, let's see what else is going on today. Beautiful snowy day. Gotta take advantage of it. Let's go. All right, we were just on the way to Mani. We wanted to meet with Mani, and it started to snow like crazy. There's literal snow chaos outside, and we just came past a truck. You can actually see it down there. That seems to be stuck in the snow. So let's see what this RS4 can do. I did this once with my GTR already. I mean, the GTR had a bit more horsepower, but... Servus! Servus! Steckst. Ja, ich finde ihn mal weg. Also bin jetzt sein oder so was dabei. Ja, ich hätte schon was dabei, ja. Ich kann es mal probieren, ich kann nichts garantieren mit dem RS4. Aber ich habe es mal geschafft, schon mal so was Ähnliches. Das passt, ja. Ja, probieren wir es einmal. Ich werde hinter der Anspruch, ja. Yeah. If this works, I'm actually pretty convinced that this could work, because the Quattro is a really good all-wheel drive system. And like I said, if it worked with the GTR, I mean the GTR had quite a lot more horsepower than this. Let's see. I mean the top is nearly there. We're gonna try to pull them all the way to the top. And then at the top on the other side, it's not as bad. So hopefully he should be able to get down. But at least we're gonna try to get him off the road. Just to give you a quick size reference. Bro, this is insane. Let me just... Meinst du, passt das von der Länge oder so mal? Ich bin am Start, ich bin kleiner. This all came down over the last like 1 or 2 hours. It's insane. And it's really slippery snow today because it's pretty warm. So it's very gooey, very, you know, you can perfect snowball snow, as you can see here. It's like David versus Goliath. It's crazy. Ich probiere dann nochmal ganz langsam, dann sehen wir sie. Ja, genau, ja. Okay, ja. Probieren wir es einmal. I really hope this works.
Oh Gott.
Okay, I think we're moving. We're actually moving.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oha, wie gut geht das?
It's working pretty well because the truck has some grip. It just needs that little push, and we're actually able to give it to him. The car doesn't really like it so much though. It's getting pretty hot. Alright, we nearly made it to the top. I think it was only that initial momentum that they needed to get unstuck because there was a really steep part down there and there was so much snow there. Now up here it seems to be pretty good. So I think you should also be fine driving back down to safety. Because the problem is once you're stuck in that little like ditch that your tires create in the snow, especially on these trucks, you can't get unstuck by yourself. And you just need that little push. And I think the RS4 was able to give him that little push. Honestly, I have to say I had way too much fun there. He got a little mad at me because I didn't stop pulling. But yeah, now we're good. Let's see. We're on the top of the hill and he made it up here. Let's check it out with him. But like I said, normally the other side is no issue because they clear the road on one side better than the other one for some reason. There's so many trucks stuck today. It's crazy. It's such a snow chaos. Yeah, as you can see here, it's starting to get less snowy. It's just that really steep part where he got stuck. And here I should have some grip again. We should be good, hopefully. Runter kommt Grip von allein, oder? Ja, gewaltig, danke. Gell? Kein Problem. Viel Schnee montieren und dann geht's runter. Viel Spaß noch. Viel Erfolg. Passt, danke. Alright. Whoa. This winter is going to be crazy, I can already tell you. There's so much snow here already. It's not really normal to snow that much this time of the year. That was crazy. It's been a long time since I did this the last time. Like I said, the first time I ever did it was with my R35 GTR. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was exactly at this road, because on this road so many trucks get stuck because it's one of the steepest and most snowy ones here in the area. And some of the truckers are just not really ready for the snow. Yeah, normally they need snow chains up here. But yeah, I think it was good. Well, the RS4 is a beast.
Weapon.
weapon, yeah. Winter weapon, honestly. This car is probably one of the best winter cars I have had so far. Absolutely beast in the snow. I've had such a good time with it so far. And I can't wait to see what else we do. So let's drive to Mani. And
I'm hot 24/7. I sleep in my Louis Vuitton, so I wake up sexy. My martini's 31, and no need to test me. On my worst behavior, but at least I'm with my besties. I'm the baddest bitch, so come arrest me. In a new whip with a new fit, like IMG. Got the it bitch in my new crib, like sorry, Zach Bia. On the west side for some new dick, Maria. Got 3 toys and they all boys and they call me mommy.